Hey y'all, it's me. The glow up is listen, episode 11. I'm so excited. I am in Richmond, Virginia, today. So I had to take it on the road, had to take the glow up is on the road. Of course, every Friday we're live. So we got to do this thing. Listen, because it's accountability, consistency. We growing, right? We cannot start the growth. We got to do, and I got to be obedient to what God has called me to do, right? Which this is a part of my purpose. And so you all listen, we are in this thing together. I'm not going to leave you hanging. Your girl got you. But listen, so welcome, welcome, welcome. I never assume that everybody knows who I am or what this channel is about, but it is about growing together. It's about encouraging us. Listen, life be life, but God still is out here, God, and He out here doing what He do, which is be God. And I'm gonna continue to allow Him to be God. Okay, listen, y'all. This week in itself has been very trying. It's been a very trying week, but God still be God. So it's amazing to be able to know that God is still out here guiding, right? Like regardless of what I do, regardless of how many obstacles, how many trials, tribulations, how many things try to stop me from doing what it is that God has called for me to do and called for you to do. Guess what? It won't work. The weapons will form, but they won't prosper. Okay. And it's still life still going on. Life is still going on. And so today I kind of wanted to talk to you all today about competition, right? Because sometimes what we get so focused on, we get so focused on the competition, we get so caught up on I need to have this done. I need to have that done. And I'm looking at what my neighbor has and what I don't have. A lot of times we don't appreciate the things that we have, right? We don't really notice. Sometimes we don't even really notice the value of the things that we have versus what our counterparts or what our neighbors have or what our friends may have, right? And next thing you know, we start to compare the things that it is that we don't have. But I just want to remind you on today, listen, you have value. Yes, you have worth. And guess what? Can't nobody do it like you can. Okay? Can't nobody do it like you. Yep. Can't nobody do it like you, girl. You, bro. Can't nobody do it like you. And guess what? It's somebody out here that's waiting for you to talk to them. It's somebody out here that's waiting for your message, your testimony, the things that you've gone through, because the things that you've gone through and the experiences that you've gone through are not by accident. It ain't no coincidence that you've gone through the things that you've gone through. Yep, it's not. Nope, it's not. But I kind of wanted us to focus on the things that a lot of times we focus on the things that we don't have, right? And in God, we lack nothing. In God, in Him, right, we have everything. And I think that sometimes if we're not paying attention, right, to who He is, right, and who He shows us who we are, but if we don't pay attention to who He is and we don't know who we are, we will never really reach our full potential. We will never be able to maximize it. We will never be able to reach our full purpose and fulfill it because we're not in alignment. And so competition is not even real. Oh, yeah. So I said that. Yep. So competition is a figurative of the imagination. It's not even a real thing. Competition does not even really exist. I don't even know who told us that competition is a thing. Like, why are we even competing with each other? Because you could never really compete with someone who is the originator of what it is. Like your gifts and the way that you do it is the way that you do it, right? Nobody can do it the way that you do it because you're called and you're chosen for that specifically. That task, those things that you're supposed to do, you are very unique to that situation. Nobody can do it the way you can. Now they can do it, but they can't do it the way that you can, right? And I use this and I say it all the time because I'm just like, man, can't nobody do it like me. And people be like, dang, she cocky, she feeling herself. And it's like, no, I brag different because I know who I am. I brag different because I know whose I am, right? Because the God in me, right? If it wasn't for Him who died for me, I couldn't say that. Like I have to brag different. And it's humble. It's a humbled bragging. Because guess what? If I'm saying that, that means that you got it like that too. Yep. Because the reality is, man, when we're his, we all win. Like there is no lose. There's lessons, but there's no lose. There's no real L's in the kingdom. There's no L's. You take no L's. They're learning lessons. They're learning lessons, but they're not losses at all, because the losses, even though it may seem like they're losses, right? You learn from them and you become better. And that's the growth. That's the beauty of the growth, right? And that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be growing. And even at the end of the day, right, we realize that we're not an island by ourselves. So we're supposed to be uplifting our neighbors, not hating on them. Hating on them for what? We're supposed to be helping each other out. We need each other. Like God said, it is not fit for man to be alone. Like it's not fit for man to be alone. Like, why? That is that's not an option. It's not an option. He said he got the animals, right? He got the animals, and he has the air, he has all of these, he has everything there, but he's missing something. It's not fit for him to be alone. He has me, but I feel like he needs something else. Something is missing. And so he got him a helper. And that's what God has called us to do. You need help. We all need help. Everybody needs help. Nobody is exempt from not needing help. And I think sometimes in this thing called life, in this journey called life, we get so prideful, right? And that's a sin. We can get so prideful. We just talked about that. Like God wants us to not be too prideful. We was talking about that in the traits of love, right? Shout outs if you did not hear about the love series for the month of February, go back, check it out, heart check, all of that. It was good, okay? And I ain't even just saying that because that's what it is. But listen, God be guiding, shorty. And I'm gonna tell you, he was doing his thing in the month of February. So if you have not checked it out, please check the Glow Up. Is episodes 8, 9, and 10. Check them out. I'm telling you, it's going to blow your mind and it will change your life. But I'm just saying all of this to say is that at the end of the day, right, God wants us all to win, and there's room for each and every single one of us to win. And so because he's created that, right, and we have to do things in love, right? Because we talked about who love is, right? Without the who, there is no what, and there's no when, there's no how. None of that even exists without the who, right? Who love is. And if we don't accept the who love is, we could never really become a reflection, a pure reflection, right? Of even trying to make an effort, right? To love ourselves, let alone other people. And so, it just brought me here, man, on tonight was like, listen, I need you to go and talk to the people that there is no competition. I need for them to understand that their race is their race, right? The race is not given to the swift nor the strong, but to those who endure unto the end. So regardless of what it may look like right now, right? The reality is, right, is that you still win regardless of what it may look like, right? And it may look like the other runners are way ahead of you, right? And maybe they doing different things, right? Because God deals with us each individually. Like there are some things that we could work on, and we need to self-examine ourselves. And sometimes it's okay for us to do that. It's okay for us to examine ourselves and to really peek into that thing and try to figure out exactly what it is what is it, God, that's stunting my growth? What is it about me? Do I need to change that? Maybe my attitude today just wasn't that great. Maybe I was so wrapped up in my own self that I didn't even smile today. Did I even bring on bad energy today? Like sometimes you got to check yourself, y'all. I do it all the time. I do it all the time. I have to, because if I don't do that, right, and I'm not mindful of my own self, right, what happens is it goes into my heart, right, because I begin to get emotional and all of these different things, emotions tied to it, right, and then whatever is in my heart, it comes in here, and then next thing you know, I'm saying it. So we have to be mindful of all of these things. We have to be very, very mindful of all of these things that we say, right, but also the things that we're allowing to be able to be in our spirit, whether or not if it's on TV, whether or not if it's on the radio, right? The things that we expose ourselves to, we have to be mindful to those things, because those things can actually uh support, right? Support the idea of what a competition is or what it should be. Girl, you see how she did that? Girl, I want that too. And next thing you know, you become jealous or envious, right? Of a person, and you're not even, you won't even like that. And you're like, dang, what just happened? Right? But you begin to see yourself. So that's why I say you got to check yourself. But there's really no such thing as really competition. We've created this thing where we begin to be jealous, right? of people, or we envy people, and we don't even know what they've gone through to get that or to obtain it. And some people make it look good and they're not even happy. They're not even joyful with it. I don't know about y'all, but listen, I don't want nothing that's gonna take away my peace or my joy or my happiness. I don't need it. You see what I'm saying? Because it's already enough that goes on in the daily, right? In a daily, right? I don't need no extra stuff. I don't want to pick up nothing off nobody else's plate because that ain't what God has called me to do. I'm not picking up on nobody else's stuff, right? I mind my business because my business is my business, right? I'm just saying, y'all, it's real because the thing is that we've come so accustomed to wanting all of these things. It is nothing wrong with you setting goals, right? And trying to obtain them, and wanting to make sure that you have the essentials that you need. And sometimes you just want more, right? And there's nothing wrong with that either. I'm saying go get it. Go do what you got to do, boo boo. Get it, okay? Because that's what God wants us to do. He wants us to aim for the stars. He wants the best for us. So whatever it is, go get it. Your father said you can have it. Have it. There is no limits. Okay. Listen, he says us to be fruitful and multiply. Listen, he's talking about not reproduction with kids. He's also talking about with the gifts that he's put in you, the gifts that he's instilled in you. And a lot of us are walking around and we don't even know what our gifts are. We're so focused on everybody else's gift that we're missing out on our purpose. We're missing out on our gifts. Our gifts is a tool for the purpose. It's not the purpose though. The gift, again, listen to what I said. The gift is a part of the purpose. It's not the purpose. A lot of times we get that confused too and misconstrued. It's the tool, but the purpose at the end of the day is to glorify him. So if it's not glorifying him, then honey, you may not be living out your purpose. But who am I to judge, right? I can't judge you. No, I sure can't, but you got to take that up with God. And if that was an ouch moment for you, then maybe that was for you, and maybe that was a judgment moment. I don't know. But at the end of the day, listen, I've been there. I understand, truly. I know what it's like to go the opposite, to do the opposite of the things that God has called you to do. I know what it's like, right? To want things, right, that other people have, right? And feel like, I'm not there yet, God. Why am I not there? Why she get that and I ain't get that yet? Or why she get this and I ain't get that yet? Or how she get that? You know what I'm saying? Like how that happened. And most of the time, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all this. It's not regular folks that I look at. I'm talking about celebrities. I'm like, what she pray for? She ain't even doing what I'm doing. She ain't even a real Christian. Yup, and it'd be crazy. It'd be your own people. You get what I'm saying? She ain't even trying to live for you, God. But I don't really know what she does in her personal life. You see what I'm saying? And so the thing about it is, and that's the reason why it's so important for us to stay in our own lane too, because sometimes we think we know, right? Because we perceive people to be this way. And we see, right? We see one piece and one part of them, but we don't really know the whole story. I don't really know what that person has been through in order to obtain that. I don't know what God has, allowed them grace, mercy. I don't know what their trials and tribulations were during that time. I don't know what losses they've had to take, right? Or lessons that they've had to learn, right? And I'm talking about losses. When I say losses, I'm talking about money and those type of things, right? I don't know what it was that they've gone through, but at the same time, right? I'm so looking on the outside, right? And I'm seeing the end result, right? And I'm not seeing the work that they did. I'm not seeing the meat of the part, right? Unless they expose it. And so that's the real thing too. It's like, God sends us people to continue to encourage us, to let us know, like, listen, you're not by yourself. You're not by yourself. And that's why this here is so important, because you're not by yourself. Like, I go through just like you. Yeah. I'm going through. I go through, right? I'm living every day. Every day I have struggles. I have things that I deal with too, right? Internally. And sometimes I internalize things, and I could be my own biggest enemy. I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I could be my own biggest enemy. And I stop my own stuff. I hinder my own growth because I'm so used to doing things out of habit. And so the habit has to die. And then that's when I'm like, okay, so the reality is, right, even if there was a competition, the only competition that exists is you, because you are the one that should be literally progressing every single day. You should literally be in competition with yourself. But there is no competition with others. Like there is nobody that compares to you. And the more that you understand your value, the more you understand your worth, the better you're going to be. The more you're going to become who it is that he's called you to be. But if you don't really begin to accept the woman or the man of God, right, that he shows you, right? And I'm talking about flaws and all. I'm talking about accepting you, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The things that you can't change, accept them and move forward. Accept them and move forward. Listen, you can't change time. You can't go back in time and try to make things the way that they needed to be. Or, dag, I missed out on that relationship. Dag, I missed out on this. Dag, I should have been with him. Dag, he doing all of this now that he with this woman now. You know, I know what that's like. I know what that's like. It's like, dag, I built him up for her. Now she reaping all the benefits. But at the end of the day, listen, I'm not bitter. I ain't feeling no type of way about nothing. You know why? Because I did what was best for me and I did what was best for us. And sometimes the reality is like that person, even though you may feel like that person was it for you, right? They weren't that for you. Because if they were that for you, they'd still be there. And guess what? It's something even better on the other side. But sometimes we can't see it. And so because we can't see it, we want to still stay where we're at and we stay comfortable. And so then what happens is that we go right back to our old patterns again, and then we begin to choose and we go down the wrong path again, and then here we go again. You know, we wondering, hey, how he get that? How she get that? What's going on? We start comparing our lives again, right? And the older that we get, and I think that's only a natural thing, right? Because the older I get, and I remember when I turned 35, I was like, wow. I said, things is really changing for me, right? My mindset began to change. And I'm like, okay, you got 5 more years and you're going to hit 40. So the reality is like, listen, that time ain't waiting on nobody. So what you doing with your time? What are you doing with your time? I say that again. What are you doing with your time? What you choose to do with your time, because guess what? That is the most valuable and most precious thing that you have is your time. The people that you invest your time in, be mindful of the people that you invest your time in, whether that if it's family, friends, or whatever. You want to make sure that you are investing time and making an impact and utilizing your time the way that he's called you to utilize your time. I don't know whether or not if it's somebody on here on today, man, who is looking for something or searching for something and they're trying to figure out, God, you give me this gift, but I don't know how to go about it, right? I don't know what it is that you want me to do, right? I know that you've given me something. And even if it's something that everybody else is doing, can't nobody still do it like you. Can't nobody do it like you. You are uniquely you. You are uniquely you. Listen, imagine if Wonder Bread said, you know what, I'm not even gonna come out with my idea of having bread because nature's own have their own brand of bread. That don't even make sense. But they both offer different things. Some people like Wonder Bread, some people like nature's own. They got their own people. That's what God has for you. You have your own people that are waiting for you. The same sandwich, different person, different brand. It's all in how you brand yourself. Brand yourself. Every single day you're waking up, you're branding yourself. Yeah. Yeah. You're representing God or you're representing you. Which one are you representing? Are you representing God or are you representing you? Because represent him is to represent you, right? You want to really literally be a reflection of God. And I'm not saying that you're perfect. Nope, I'm not, because I ain't either. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying my hardest to really live the way that he's called us to live, which is to try to do the right thing. And we all as adults know right from wrong, even when the wrong feels right. You see what I'm saying? Oh yeah, that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother beast. But I'm just saying, y'all, we got to get out of this mindset of competition unless it's competition with ourselves. And that's absolutely fine. If you feel like competition with yourself is going to help motivate you and get you to where you need to be with the results, because that's okay. Because guess what? You want to get better every day. I don't know about you, but listen, I've always said it. I'm like, listen, I ain't in competition with nobody because guess what? Can't nobody do it like me. And I say it confidently like that because there is only one Latoya. There is no, there other names. Yeah, other people have my name, but there's only one Latoya. Yeah. And I said it all the syllables. And I say it like that. And I mean it when I say it because I know, right? Can't nobody do it like I can do it. Can't nobody talk the way I talk. Can't nobody, people can imitate, right? And people will try all day long to imitate you. People will try to be like you. People will try to, some people ain't even comfortable in their own skin. And if it's you that's not comfortable in your own skin, start really taking yourself out. Start really being intentional with spending time with you, because if you can't spend time with you, how in the world do you expect yourself to even have friends or to even be in a relationship? How do you even expect to even receive the helper that God has for you? And I'm not talking about just spouse, I'm talking about friends that God will send your way, networking, people, all of that to help you with the gift that He's instilled in you. You can't. I'll wait. I'm just saying, this is ouch moment for me too, y'all. Listen, when I get on here, listen, I'm not talking just to be talking. I'm talking because I done lived it. I know what it's like to be in competition with yourself. I know what that's like. I get better and better every day. Every single day, I'm like, okay, you're better than the Latoya yesterday. Okay, maybe I wasn't aware of that, right? And I'm just being mindful of the things that I'm aware. I'm being mindful of the things that I surround myself with. I'm mindful of the people that I interact with on a daily basis, because I'm like, listen, some people I can't control that I have, that I have an interaction with. But if I can control the environment, I'm gonna control the environment. You get what I'm saying? And if it's somebody that's not serving my purpose, or they want to remind me of the old version that I was and they irritate my soul, I'm gonna get up and walk away, because guess what? My peace is not for sale. I refuse. I refuse. I refuse to be triggered. I refuse to allow myself to deter, right? And I refuse to allow myself to, to even be reminded of who I used to be, because I'm not that person anymore, right? I know who I used to be, right? And sometimes we can't stay that long. It's okay for you to reflect, but why am I staying that long? Because I'm not that person no more. I don't even know who that is. I don't even know who that old person was. You see what I'm saying? Why? Because I am a different me. And some people, guess what? They don't even grow up. Some people still, even though they're older now, they may be in their late 20s, they may be in their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, right? Even in their 60s, 70s, still had a mindset of a 16-year-old or a 13-year-old, or maybe even a 12-year-old. I know a few people now that act like that's in their 40s, okay? And still act like they 13, 12 years old, real petty, right? I know some people that's in their 30s, okay? And I listen, and I've called some people out, and some people don't like it. You see what I'm saying? Some people do not like it when you call them out. And I can see if you call them out in the open like that, right? Because they all open with theirs. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to have a one-on-one conversation with you and help you grow. But I'm like, okay, all right, okay, God. Well, they won't able to receive that. So then I shake the dust and I keep it moving. But I'm always asking God, can I be the one to speak to them? You see what I'm saying? Is it okay for me to talk to them about this? And sometimes you do. You got to talk to God. Like, really, seriously, when it is an issue like that, you got to talk to God, because you don't want people to feel no type of way, right? But at the same time, sometimes it hurts for people to really, and people will react, right, based on their own pettiness, or on their own level of comprehension. Some people are fathers and mothers and still are young boys and girls. Ain't never grew up, don't even know how to even teach their kids how to even be an adult or whatever, because they're still learning too. Like, and I look at my parents, right? And I'm just like, wow, it's no manual to this thing, right? So it makes me nervous sometimes because I don't have none. And I just be like, great day. Wow. And you're still learning. And so, at the end of the day, man, we're all human. We're all human. That goes to just show it's like we're all human beings. We're all going through this thing called life. And at the end of the day, man, you got to extend grace to people. And that's all I do, extend grace to people. But what I'm not going to do is allow anybody to disturb my peace or my mind, or me minding somebody else's business. I ain't doing it. For what? It ain't helping me. It ain't feeding me. It ain't adding to me. It ain't serving me at all. So if it don't make me feel good, it don't make my spirit feel good, I'm out. Peace. And I don't care who you is. You can be my mama, my daddy, whoever, the president of the United States. It don't matter to me. If it don't make me feel good, I'm not staying. I'm out. Why? Because I know me, right? And so that's another thing. Like, know yourself. To thyself be true. Know yourself. Study yourself. You don't need other people to study you. You study you. You be mindful of the things that you put inside of your body. You be mindful of the things that you allow um to hinder you. Be mindful, because some of us, like, we've gotten so comfortable, right? We've gotten so comfortable with the things that we should have outgrown years ago, but we've gotten accustomed to them. And some of us are just hoarders because we're just keeping a hold of those things because we are scared to let them go, or we're nervous because they're a huge part of who we are. But the crazy part is like, you'd be really surprised if you would have let some of these things go. You'd probably be like, oh, I can breathe better. Wow. Wow, I let that friendship go. Wow. Wow, I don't talk to that family, and I don't talk to that family member anymore. Wow, I still love them, but I don't talk to them on a regular basis anymore. Wow, this is awesome. There's nothing wrong with you setting your boundaries. If anybody got a problem with that, tell them to take it up with God. Listen, people get ready to talk to me on the phone, and I tell them all the time, did you talk to God first? I don't even talk to people like that on the phone because I just believe in talking to God about everything. About everything. I don't do that. For what? Why? It's not serving me. It ain't helping. If it ain't help building the kingdom, I ain't trying to do it no more. I'm just saying. Listen, I want everything. I want God to be able to get the glory out of every single thing. Listen, y'all, I'm telling you. I'm telling you this because it's a real thing. Like, it's a real thing. These things can hinder us. And that's why I say at the end of the day, competition is not even real. It's not. Like, competition with other people for what? What you in competition with other people for? There is it does not even exist. You are great. You are great. You have a royal priesthood. But do you believe it? And do you have you gotten so deep in it where you believe it, where the belief now becomes into the knowing? Like, I don't just believe it, I know. Yeah. So even when somebody even try to come over here and try to shake that and try to tell me what I'm not, I'm like, I just laugh. I think it's funny because I'm like, oh yeah, you don't know me. I got people that say that swear up and down they know me, right? Because they're in my family, or they know, because they know my family, they know me or whatever. People don't know you. People think they do, but they don't know you. I think it's hilarious. I think it's so hilarious. Like, I got people in my own family who don't even know me. They swear up and God they know me just because of certain instances. Please, honey, you don't know me. It's crazy, but it's real. It's real because I don't even allow people in my business. So how you know me? You going off a hearsay? Yeah, it gotta be. It gotta be. And that's why I just think about when I look at that man and I hear about, like, even to, when Jesus was telling his disciples, you know what I'm saying? He was like, who are people saying that I am? Right? But he was like, but who do you say that I am? That's the part right there that got me. Who do you say that I am? Those of you who are around me, who do you say that I am? You know what I'm saying? Don't go off of what other people say. Go off of what you know. Go off of the relationship and that's the thing. We're listening to other people, man. Oh gosh. Woo. It's a real thing. And that's why I say, man, we got to be intentional. We got to be intentional with growing. We got to be intentional with who God is. We got to be intentional with that thing. Maybe I'll expound upon that next week. Like, baby, yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna expound upon that next week. Like, who is God? Like, God is literally asking you, who am I to you? Who am I to you? Who am I to you? Like, seriously, who am I to you? Who do people say that I am? But I want to make it personal. Who do you say that I am? And it's a real thing. Like, you should even evaluate your circle and start asking them, who do you say that I am? I know you got other people out here who think they know me, but who do you say that I am? And then start evaluating them, man. Listen, and start removing people too. To start showing you who your real people is, who for you and who ain't. Listen, if God be for you, who can be against you? I'm just saying. But anyways, listen, I'm gonna get up out of here. I'll be back next week. Right, we're gonna have some more word. We gonna keep doing this thing because listen, y'all, I'm telling you, I'm not in this thing. You're not in this thing by yourself. It's us. It's us. It is us. It's your girl. You see what I'm saying? It's your auntie, your sister, your cousin, whoever. You see what I'm saying? Whoever you need me to be, I got you. We accountability partners. We in this thing together because listen, God be guiding, right? Even when life is life, because that's what he does. and he does it so good. You see what I'm saying? And we got to glow up. We got to glow up. But in order for us to glow up, we got to grow up. Just saying. Anyways, y'all be blessed on tonight. And I'm going to see y'all next Friday, same time, y'all. Same time. And if y'all missed this, listen, share this. Share this message. Get the message out. Get the message out. People need this. We all need this. We need to be encouraged. We need to understand and know that, guess what? We all don't have all the answers, but we in this thing together and we gonna figure it out. That's what this is. That's what the glow up is. We gotta glow. Our light gotta shine, period. Because we gotta deal with these things that's internal. These things that's internal, they can't be holding us back no more. No, we are new. So next week, y'all, I'm gonna see y'all next week, 8 o'clock live on YouTube. Also, check my Spotify out. If you can't get on here, that's fine. Check Spotify out. The Glow Up is. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all later. Bye.